left-wing candidates are here, ALC and Mamdani, but also this is the stronghold for the establishment, Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. This is a battle between the establishment and this insurgency, and the roof is collapsing on the Democratic Party establishment tonight. If Mamdani gets a hat trick, 3 out of 3, this is a new era for the Democratic Party, and you can't write off New York City because this is the place where both, it's the power center for the establishment and the insurgency, and they're going head-to-head tonight. And right now, this is no longer a movement. This is a movement and a machine at the same time. There's just no way to sugarcoat this. If Mamdani pulls off a hat trick, it is a new era in Democratic Party politics.
Well, and if you're a moderate Democrat who's on the election, who's on the ballot this November, Van, I mean, they're all going to get asked about the positions that we're hearing from these other fellow Democrats.
Well, look, I think, from our frontline Democrats will be able to make their case for themselves. I think they'll be able to do okay. We got a lot of national security Democrats in other parts of the country, but this is a big deal tonight. And I think that, look, I don't know what you want me to say here. This is a straight up battle between the establishment and the insurgency, and the establishment is getting its butt kicked tonight in New York City.
They certainly did. They got their butts kicked. All right, ladies, let's sound off to this and talk about what happened here. All right. So Nicole, I mean, they're calling Mamdani a kingmaker today. What are your thoughts? Is it something? Is he worthy of that? And what do you think this means for the Democrat Party?
Well, this takeover didn't just start yesterday. This started like 4 years ago again, and it's not only New York, it's in Seattle, it's in all of their very blue places in Michigan. And we talk about Grand Platinum on this show all of the time. The Democrats have a problem. It used to just be a man problem, but now they have a man and an America problem. And that's going to be the death knell. This is not your grandpa's Democrat Party anymore. This is not the party of Birkenstocks and too much weed. They have gone so far to the left that they've lost themselves. And it's just a matter of time before somebody wises up and says, listen, we got to burn this thing to the ground in order to save it. And Hakeem Jeffries just doesn't have that kind of power anymore. Mamdani kicked his ass.
Yeah, literally, because the candidates that he put out, none of them won. Shelley, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's unfortunate myself, politically speaking, that these socialists really won in New York. But I think a better question would be, what does this mean for Republicans in the general election? Because these are the people that are going to be on the ballots that the right has to go against. So how are the Republicans going to, I guess, push back, if you will, this socialism, this ideology that seems to be taking a foothold, not just in New York City, but across the country, particularly in Los Angeles, Seattle, here in Maryland as a state, and certainly in New York City. I think that's the better or bigger question that needs to be asked. They already won. They won their primaries. What the general is going to pretend, that's what we need to be looking forward to.
Absolutely. Well, folks, the Democrats are nervous. The establishment Democrats are nervous because many are saying that if these people, as we've seen, these socialists win the primaries, this won't play nationally. Take a look here. This is clip 6.
Democratic socialists are knocking out Democratic establishment candidates, people, that have been doing this for quite some time. And Bill and Dana, that's why they say they want to take them out. They say they're part of the problem and they need to move the Democratic Party in a new direction. And in this race here in New York City, an endorsement from the mayor meant more than an endorsement from the party's top leaders.
That last June, a year ago tomorrow, was not an anomaly. It was not the end. It was the beginning.
Mamdani went 3 for 3 last night with fellow Democratic Socialists Daria Liza Avila Chevalier, Claire Valdez, and progressive Brad Lander winning, and Brad Lander won fast. We were watching those results come in. They all want to do a few things, all right? Abolish ICE, defund the police, cut ties with Israel, and take the party in a new direction. One of the night's biggest upsets, Chevalier knocking off 5-term Congressman Adriano Espaillat. She's a newcomer, rather. He's not. And she is strongly anti-Israel. I keep thinking back, did I see her out at Columbia? Because she went to school there, and she was also leading those campus protests. Israel also the defining issue in this race. One of the main reasons that Congressman Dan Goldman lost to Brad Lander was because of Israel. They're both Jewish, but boy, do they have different takes.
But it's not just the Jews who will lose, it will be everybody else.
How do you balance that with being anti-AIPAC, anti-Israel, and a lot of things, but you're Jewish?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a proud Jewish New Yorker. I wear it on my sleeve, raising my Jewish kids in this city, like, proudest thing in my life. It's an incredible city for Jews for a century. I'm going to fight to keep it that way.
But a lot of Jewish voters don't feel safe in New York or across the country, so we'll keep an eye on that. The so-called red wave, though, is not just in the Big Apple. Democratic Socialists won nearly every key race across New York State yesterday, and some voters tell me the reason I came to the United States wasn't to deal with this. I came to escape socialist policies. Do you want to bring socialism in?
No.
Why?
No, why? Because I'm from Latin America. We have a Venezuela, we have a Cuba. We know Spanish speaker, Latin America, we know what it means socialists. We don't want this in New York.
And the DSA is calling New York City the Commie Corridor. That's a new one, so I don't know if I should toss it back to you and say live from the Commie Corridor or live from the Big Apple. But one more thing here is we're going to have to see. The question is Zoran Mamdani's playbook going to work in November? That's the big question that I think those Democratic leaders are watching too, Bill.
All right. There we go. There we have it. So let's get into this, ladies. Let's talk about what we just saw here. So I thought it was odd, Nicole. We saw how the reporter was talking about the Democratic Socialist who won that's Jewish. And he's like anti-Jew, is he or not? Isn't he?
Well, there are some Jews who are born into the faith who are not practicing.
Right.
And it's when it's socially expedient to be Jewish, they turn it on, they turn it off. And there are others who are observant and who are practicing. And the people who, many of the people who inhabit lots of places in New York are practicing Jews. You see your Hasidic Jews, the Orthodox, all of those living pretty much set apart in the city of millions. But with all of that said, there was a big kerfluffle about, a Jewish incumbent being thrown out of a cafe for being Jewish.
Mm-hmm. It was him. It was Goldman, right?
Yeah. In New York City. This is the same guy who's saying that he's not Jewish enough. I'm kind of Jewish light, I'm Jewish adjacent, not actually Jewish. I was born this way, trying to distance himself as much as he can from the God of his father and his father's father, which is a very interesting take. It does beg the question, what will New Yorkers save? Because if they'll throw away their God, they'll throw away their freedom, they'll throw away their money, what will they save? There's nothing left. There's nothing left. Oh, except for sheets. They should all run out, go get their burqas, go get their hijabs, because honey, they're coming for you. They're coming for you.
Oh, and I guess the non-religious Jews don't give a damn about the Orthodox ones, right? You're still Jewish, the ethnicity, you're still Jewish, but I guess you don't give a damn about the religious ones. You only care, you care about the religious Muslims, right? Shelley, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, first, two things. I thought it kind of went by very quickly that they're now calling this number one commie corridor. And the journalist herself was laughing, which says to me that many people in New York, just like we asked, how did Mamdani get into office? It doesn't seem to me, at least right now, that New Yorkers are too concerned because they just voted in a whole socialist panel. That's number two. Number three, this idea of this red wave, you notice the sleight there, the sleight of hand, because red wave is typically associated when Republicans win. Now this red wave is really, they're talking about communism, socialist countries, this bloody communist ideology. They're using it, and they're using it kind of in a positive way. It's a sleight of hand, because most people, if you hear red wave, Americans, you think of Republicans, but that's not what it is. So this tells me again that either New Yorkers more and more they want this. They are embracing this because they certainly elected this whole slate in, at least on the Democratic side. And it also tells me that the political trickery, if you will, they're using it to their advantage.
Yeah. Well, globally, and we're going to talk about this a little later when we talk about this Marxist Islamic connection, there is a red wave. They did call it. They called it the red and green wave, actually. So that's why they're saying it there as well. This red and green wave is the connection between the Islamism and the Marxism or socialists, as they're saying. But they're outright Marxists. They're outright Marxists. Folks, all right. Well, as you come in, folks, hit that like button. Again, this is Pop and Politics. Remember to share and subscribe, folks, as you come in. If you are tired of the power-hungry commie leftists trying to strip us of our rights and tear apart our country, you are in the right place because we push back against them. So, ladies, let's set it off. Not only do we push back against them, but our merch says it, right, Nicole?
It does. Let me tell you, not white, not black, American. This is the shirt you need. 4th of July is right around the corner. If you order today, you might be able to get it in time. You might be able to get it in time and wear it wherever you're celebrating. But this shirt speaks to the heart of being a good American. It is not expensive, and every dime that you spend on this shirt helps to support our channel. This is a good look. You look good doing it. You can buy one for your friends and for your family. This is a mug that I took to work earlier this week. And let me tell you, everybody wants one. Now I'm having to get some for the entire staff. They love the big eagle on the front. I love the big eagle on the front. It looks good and it speaks to who we really are. So put your order in today. The last time that we had them up, I'm telling you, you guys went crazy and broke the internet. They're back up and running, and usually about a week it takes to get. So if you order today, and it comes in a variety of colors, order today and you should be good for the holiday.
Absolutely. It looks like we have some super chats, Shelly.
Yes, we do here. Hi, everybody out there in chat land. Let's see what super chats we have. Tijuana, Butter Jumper. Hi, thank you for tonight, the $20. Hi, ladies. Hi, Nicole. Fight. Thank you, Tijuana. Good to see you. We also have Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hey,
Thank
Paul.
you for the $10.
Thank
Just
you.
supporting my favorite show, and you are one of our favorite guys. Thank you for that, Paul. Everybody else out there in Chatland, you know what to do. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hi, Bernie. Hi, Allie. Hi, Scrap and Beauty. All our mods out there. Kung Fu CJ, Jessica. I'll probably get a few of you throughout the show, so stay with us. But right now, hit that like, share, and subscribe, and go to our website, www.metroconservativemedia.com, where you can get the rundown, the lowdown on all the shows on the Metro Conservative Media platform. Go ahead and do that right now.
Absolutely, folks. All right, so we're going to continue on this because we got so much to bring to you guys. We want to go through what occurred yesterday. Now, as you mentioned, Shelly, what are the Republicans talking about? What are conservatives going to do with this onslaught of socialists? Well, one thing is for sure, the Democrats are kind of nervous. Establishment Democrats, at least, are rattled, okay? Progressives are celebrating it as people power and proof the party is moving in their direction. Take a look at MSNBC Morning's Joe as he crashes out over this. He and Donnie Deutsch, they were at it over this takeover and seeing, comparing who's right and who's wrong.
Days a year. Today, they will act like, and I hope you don't act like, New York City is the center of the world, because it's a big country out there.
You know what? There's what's called badge branding. You sell Chevrolets and you use Corvette to kind of sell the whole thing. And my concern, this is from a branding point of view, not a reality point of view, is that you now have the ability, I'm not talking about Fox News, I'm talking about if the Republicans are running against Democrats, no matter who the Democrat is, they say the Democratic Party stands for this. The Democratic Party stands for what these principles
can I ask
stand.
You this? How many points did Mikey Sherrill win by when we heard she was going to lose?
But now you have hold
on a second. How many points did Abigail Spanberger win in Virginia, despite being told, the Democrats are all socialists, they're all left wing?
But this is not.
It's
This
the
new news
same
now.
exact thing, Donnie.
There's new news
What do you
now.
mean
You
there's
have
no
a
news?
real wave happening. Joe, I think the Democratic Party, and you've got now 2 Democratic Socialists, is taking on an overall persona. This is where the energy is in the party. You and I can agree to disagree on this. I believe the Democratic Party overall is going too hard left. I believe there is anti-Semitism in there. We'll save that for another day. But I believe this is a branding issue for the Democrats that they are going to have to answer for. So we'll agree to disagree on this one.
It's obviously a challenge. It's obviously going to be a challenge, obviously, as they move forward to make sure.
All right. All right. So let's unpack this. Donnie Deutsch is nervous. He is rattled. Nicole, what are your thoughts there?
You know, there's a reason why the establishment Democrats are rattled. You need money to win elections. And you're not going to be able to go to your traditional big money people and sell them this socialism stuff. And it's not that the one point that Joe Scarborough made that's valid. New York is a little tiny place in a big wide country. However, it is the center of most media. So this story is getting covered and covered and covered. And it's not just New York. Again, it's kind of spreading like a fungus across the nation. And they have completely lost control. Now, I don't want to call out any names. Nancy Pelosi said that this was going to happen because they had weak leadership. And she's not wrong. Weak leadership led to Mamdani's win. Weak leadership led to his popularity. Weak leadership allowed him to choose the candidates that were going to run in which race and to help them fund it. So don't think for 1 second that Muslim money is not helping these candidates. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. And people say, oh, the takeover is starting to happen. Baby, we're mid-takeover. We're mid-takeover. Those Republicans in New York, Republicans in Michigan, Republicans in Washington State, you have one thing to do, one thing to run on, one. And you know what it is? These United States of America. Because regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, it's hard to debate that living here as a free adult person is comparable to anything else in the world. Ask them that one question. Name a place where socialism actually worked. I'm going to wait, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Not hold my breath.
No, you're right. Yeah. Shelley, I mean, and so he was correct that we didn't see the actual in name Democrat Socialists of America win elections across the country yesterday. But these people are leaning hard on the socialist side. Here in Maryland, we had some primaries wins on very leftist Democrats, right, Shelley?
Absolutely. We had our elections here in Maryland. And just like in New York, I tend to agree with Joe Scarborough, may it never be held against me, but I tend to agree with him in that clip. At the end of the day, when those people are on the ballot, I think the establishment be damned. If they win, they win, because ultimately that's what people want to do. So it doesn't matter if whatever money they get from whomever, that's not going to make a difference to them. What they want is to win. This is why I say the Republicans in New York and across the country, we need to make sure that the message that we are giving is about capitalism, like you said, Nicole, the United States, about our freedoms, our Constitution, and we need to stand on that. We need to take that message everywhere. They're going to do what they're going to do, funded by whomever, but they are going to be on the ballot. And I'm not betting on, or I'm not relying on the establishment being afraid. No, I'm looking at the end result. And these are the people they voted. They're going to represent the Democratic Party, regardless of the establishment. They are going to be the representatives of that party.